Hi guys, welcome to this new video. Today we're gonna see how to make some screeches. So I'm gonna show you how to remake the screech that you can hear in your favorite tracks. We're gonna go through all of Serum sections to kind of play with the parameters and get some crazy stuff. So I'm gonna first show you how to make a basic screech. Then I'm gonna show you how you can play with the oscillators and with the noise. Then we're gonna see how we can play with the pitch, with filters, and then with automation. I'm going to go through all of these, get some crazy stuff. And finally, I'm going to show you a few patterns on how you can be creative with your screech in your tracks. Also, you can get some free samples and a few Serum patches. The link is in the description. If you like this kind of content, you can like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so before we begin, we have to understand what is a screech. So there are two types of screeches. So either it's played out of a mass of noise, and usually there is a pitch variation when it's played. So for instance, I just took like a clap and I create some noise with some amps, so a lot of distortion. And then I'm just kind of doing an envelope, a pitch envelope, and I can create different tones. So this is this kind of screech that you can make. You can take any kind of samples. So for instance, I took another one that I've pitched down. It's just a perk. And then I have just a different texture. And then I can play with my pitch envelope also. And so to do this kind of sounds, it's only like pure noise, and I just add lots of reverb and again another amp after it. So either you can take this and play with textures and different kind of samples, or you can create your own screech in Serum. And the other way to do it is not by using noise, but it's by using some saw waves and lots of detune. So basically this is a screech. And then you just put some basic effects. So that is the reverb, that is a bit of distortion, and that is a compressor to get some attack. And you get some higher pitch, and there you go, you have your basic screech. So now that we have our basic screech, we can play around with every parameters that we have here on Serum, and we're going to focus first on the oscillators. So first, of course, you can play with the detune. So already this is something that you can automate. You can play with the blend, and we can also play with the random. So it's going to start at a different phase. And you see it's a different sound. So then we can play with some FM synthesis. So either with the oscillator or with the noise. And with the noise, we're going to recreate what we did with these kind of samples and the distortion. So I'm going to FM from noise, and I'm going to choose different kind of noise. So you see I can already have some different kind of screeches. And again with this. So we can play with this noise. Again, this is something that we can automate after this. Okay, so now we go back to our basic screech. So just the saw waves and a few effects, and we're going to play with the pitch. There's a few things you can do with the pitch. So first you can play with this chaos one. This is a kind of noise, and we're going to assign here the oscillator A coarse pitch to chaos one, and we can play with this rate. By the way, if you want something a bit stronger, you can play also with the multiband compressor. There you go. So this is one thing. You can play also here with the coarse pitch of the oscillator A. So you can take here. And you can play here So if we withdraw this, we can also assign here the LFO1 to the fine-tuning of the oscillator. So if we withdraw this, and now if you play with all the parameters that we have set before, we can get some massive sound. So we're gonna get back to that FM noise. We still have here fine tune, and we're gonna play also with the quarter bit. So since we have so much detune and different parameters moving, you get some crazy stuff. And so the last thing that you can do here with the pitch is also playing with the master tuning envelope. So you're gonna take this envelope too, gonna just drag a bit the attack, and you can assign here the envelope 2 to the master tuning. And then you can put like plus 12 or plus 24 semitones, and you're gonna stay in pitch. And when you play, you get that. And you can play also minus 12. But you can also create different kind of envelopes, so these kind of things, or kind of stab. And with different and then you can create these kind of patterns after. Or you can make this kind of envelope, and this is usually what we found here in the Hades video. Those huge screech. Alright, and the final thing that you can play with is the filters. So we can play here, so usually you can play with the bandpass filters or any kind of filter here in the flanges, or either phase or comb, whatever, and we get some other crazy stuff. So here you can make resonate, and then we can automate this kind of stuff. Or we can play with this. So especially in the high range, you can get some crazy resonances. And then we can make the whole thing work together with lots of automation. So for instance, I can assign this. Or if we go back to this. So yeah, it can feel a bit more digital if you use these comb filters. If you go back to bandpass. So with everything that I've shown, you can combine everything and automate and get some more complex sound, or get some different kinds of screeches. so on. Right, the final thing that you can do is play with the different patterns. So either here with the MIDI pattern, you can play like a long bar. And you can play here with the envelope. So for instance, you can play with the pitch bend. Even with lower notes. Or you can play with different kind of patterns. So usually you can play with the harp. So for instance, if I take this one, I can create a pattern and play with the rate. Okay, so finally I'm going to show you different possibilities that you can take to make different kind of patterns with your screech. So you can take first the full bar and you can play here with the envelope and play with the pitch bend. So you're going to play also with the arpeggiator. And you can play here with the rate and automate. You can play here again with some patterns. And same, you have the pitch envelope. You can play also with a combination of two different screeches. Or you can play with a lower octave, again there. And different kind of rate automation. Again, we can play also with the rate, but this time with this kind of rate without the BPM. So you can play also with all of the screeches. With different octave, and then finally you can play with some kind of patterns. So playing with half notes, with 16th notes. So really there's kind of an infinite amount of possibilities, and you can also combine these synth screeches with the other screeches that you can do with some samples. Alright, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it, and it's gonna help you to make your screeches and help you unleash your creativity when doing them for your tracks. Thank you for the support. See you in the next video. Ciao, guys.